Hey there, Wargamers, Justin our Paints here, and today I want to talk a little bit about Alpha Strike. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the channel. If you are new here, please Alpha Strike that like and that subscribe button. Smash it like you're trying to blow up that enemy mech, but instead let's focus all that energy into helping the channel grow. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for being an awesome Lance Mate, Starmate, Sibco, Sibkin. Thank you for being an awesome supporter of the channel, and welcome back. That said, today I don't have anything specific about this book. I just wanted to have something to go boom with, because that's how I like to do my intros. A little goofy, a little stupid. It's what I like to do. But specifically, this would have been better if I had the other camera pointing at my face, because this is kind of how this video is going to be, but I wanted something just to flip through pages while we talk. I'm very interested in doing something different with the channel. I do a lot of battle reports, right? And I want to do some type of scenario-based like campaign. Now, I've got a PDF up on the computer that is a good for campaign system, but I'm curious if there is something that perhaps I have missed in the Alpha Strike rules, or maybe some of the source books like Dominions Divided or Tamar Rising, anything like that. If I've missed something, let me know, because I would like to forge a cool campaign where the mechs are characters, or there is a character like a leader or something, and it's progressive over the game, so you guys maybe get attached to them, or perhaps maybe even some of these characters are named after patrons, or super supporters, things of that nature. I have interest in building a website at some point. This is way off, but for patron supporters, I want to have an opportunity for them to name a mech from my collection, so that when it shows up in campaigns or battle reports, it could be them that's piloting it in that particular game. And I think over a campaign, a series of games, like 5 to 10 games, maybe that person shows up, they're fighting, maybe they show up in another campaign, another series, and being able to have those mechs, the photos listed on the website, and then if it's a named one, have the name of that person and maybe like an interesting artwork for them. And then any particular awesome battle they took place in where they did a crazy thing, try and put a link, in this battle they earned this accolade, they did this thing, and put that under that pilot. So if someone's on the website and they're looking at the different characters that are based off community members, that they could click and see a video where that person did a cool thing. But the coolest thing I want to do, which is a little bit morbid, I want to have a pilot card, right, with the person on it. And if they happen to be playing in a campaign and they go down, they KIA, they're finished, they're done, I want to take that unit card on the website with the mech and their pilot card, and I want to make it look like a stamped KIA, and then under it, where it's got the accolades, some of the battles that they took part in with links to those videos, I want to say KIA, blah blah blah, this date, this kind of thing, or a little thing that sounds a little fluffy, and you click it and you watch the video, and that's the last time that particular pilot showed up. The mech will show up because I'm gonna have to re-roll these models into games, but for the duration, that's representing someone who's supporting the channel, and if they never go down, they could keep coming back. And if they do go down, they attained their glory and they've been immortalized on the channel, and I have a place for that to be listed. I think that would be cool. That's a ways out because it's a lot of logistics to get into. But I'm specifically interested in if there is a campaign system or books that you guys think would be worth looking into beyond the free campaign online. Let me see if I've still got this here. I said I did. I'm pretty sure. It's not that one because I've got the name of it. There it is, Alpha Strike Narrative Campaign. It is by Jared Blando. He wrote one that Ash Barker used, and it's pretty good. But I'm curious if there's more official one or some breakdowns in some of the source books or something like that you guys would recommend. Now, if you're new here, you may have no idea what I'm talking about, and you're just watching me flip pages and listening to me ramble, which is okay too. Thank you for being here. But if you're a veteran to the community, to Battletech, Alpha Strike in particular, please sound off in the comments below. Seriously, I am putting this video out. I'm editing this video. I'm taking the time to do this video because I'm hoping that flash, that beacon in the light, snap, snap, gets your attention. Hey, you. Yes, that person. Hopefully I got your attention. I'm curious to know what you had to say. And if there's something that's not necessarily official, but you have thoughts or guidance on things to do, mechanics, let me know. Because, I want to do stuff that's fun for me and fun for you guys to watch and get you invested. So that's what I want to do. And in closing today, this is probably a pretty short video, but in closing, one of the things that I really want to do is have a series of games, 5 to 10 games, something like that. Maybe it spans a couple of months, which would be really cool. Maybe even have it like focused on a group of mercenaries or a group of insert whatever models I build, and you see that story from their perspective. But sometimes I play Bob, sometimes I play John, because the logistics are such that in that particular story arc, like, I run into different people. That would be cool. But I think one of the most epic things to do would be occasionally, if I can get the rules down well enough to kind of muddle my way through, have some very limited classic games sprinkled in throughout it for very small cases. For example, here's a thing I think would be really cool. If at the climax of the story campaign, one of them, in the last battle, we've got, Jet Cloud over here and his supernova, and he's going toe-to-toe with a griffin. God knows why this is happening. And in the tabletop, we're playing Alpha Strike, and there's this clash happening, and our models are fighting, and the battle's decided, but our commanders are still up, after the carnage falls. Perhaps they're still trudging forward, and they've got a debt to be paid, right? And they don't care anymore. It's been this bloodshed, this battle, this carnage, the mech salvage, everything's flying, explosions, but they have pushed all that aside. The chaos of war, the fog of battle, all of that is just, there's silence. They can feel their faces like warm with a bloodlust or rage, because that blood has just come to the surface, and they're angry. They're seething with rage at each other, and they can't see anything else. And then we transition into the next game being a classic match where it's one-on-one, like a Duel of Fate style kind of thing, or a Circle of Equals, or insert whatever clan terminology they might use. But we get into a small classic match with these guys blasting each other, and the more crunchy rules really gets into the story of how the two commanders are pitted against each other, and see what actually happens down to the granular level. I think that would be really cool. I just have to get more in tune with doing classic, but that's the kind of stuff that I want to do. And you guys, the community members, the ones who can help guide me to the information I need to learn to do this, or pointing out places where there might be good narrative things to lean into to craft this, forge this story, I think is really cool. And for those of you who are listening who are patron supporters, I give you guys a slight extra benefit in that your opinions, not that anyone else's opinions don't matter, because they do, but if you're on Patreon and you're throwing up a recommendation and you're really wanting to try and be involved, there's opportunities to try and be involved with what I do. So, keep that in mind. He's not a patron member yet. I hope he is one day, but if he isn't, Gold Bishop, Dave Alsager, is it Alsager or Alsager? I don't remember. Gold Bishop, Dave, he's a really cool guy. He helps out with Fortress Miniatures and Games Southern Assault, doing their list checks, which I'm hoping he'll help me at Nova with doing some online list verification for me. He's like the guy. He knows all the rules. He's the Mega Mech guru. He knows everything. And he's super nice. And I'm really hoping to roll him into the fold with some online Mega Mech stuff with Patreon that we can do with patrons that will allow us to forge some content that can then go on YouTube. But it gets me and the patrons together while Dave's maybe forging something. So that's an example of someone potentially working with me to help generate some content, which I think would be cool. I can't pay you guys because I'm poor. But if you want to be involved, let me know, sound off, things of that nature. And one of the cool things is the people who have sent me Nova miniatures for my my grinder box. Those minis are going to get used in video content as well, so stuff like that's cool. And Dan Athanasol, if I said your name right, I know Dan listens to these. He's one of my patrons that for sure sent minis. I've got the unboxing of his stuff that'll go up at some point. It's filmed. I got to schedule all these out. Allowing him to work with me to build his list from the 4 minis he sent me. He picks out the variants he wants me to use in the Aces match, and he picks out the skill levels and stuff, and he goes, "Here you go, Justin. That Lance I sent you, this is what I think you should face." And then I build my points list to play against those in the AI Aces thing, and then he actually gets to see what he did put on the table. Now, it would be run by the Aces mechanics, but that would be super cool. And community members, in this case Patreon member, they get to see their stuff on the channel and feel like they've done something, and honestly, you guys have. Anyone at this point who sent me minis has really, really helped in particular with Nova, but the future of the channel, believe me, your stuff's going to show up. It's going to happen. When I want to do random like Aces video content, I want to dig into stuff so it's not just my same minis over and over. So these minis you guys provided are super helpful, and I really appreciate it. That said, hopefully the eye candy of this book got you to click on this video. If you're at this point in the video, for sure, hopefully it did. But yes, I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Sound off in the comments below. Want to hear your thoughts on where to start with Classic, what we could do to do some very small limited games with that, and how we could interweave that with a narrative, a story, a campaign, and thoughts on where to begin with that. If there's any books you guys recommend, things of that nature, let me know. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me ramble. If you're getting any hobbying going on in your life, in your day, put it in the comments. Share your Instagram. Share your thoughts. Get a conversation going. I really do appreciate that, and I like engaging with you guys and hearing what you have to say. Now, on that note, you guys know if I don't shut the hell up, I will continue rambling, and I will find something kind of like this griffin. He's kind of pretty. But on that note, guys, keep rolling your dice, keep painting your models, and I will catch you guys next time. If you guys are still sitting here watching this, let's take a moment to put a pop-up here to showcase those wonderful Patreon supporters here. We'll let that scroll here, and thank you so much for supporting what I do. That's super awesome. I really do appreciate that.